Was that in like a Japanese interview? Is that where you got that?
It wasn't Japanese, but you were telling someone that you got into knitting in 2nd grade.
I was so into, well, it was more like crocheting and stuff. When I was in 2nd grade, I would go to school with like this tote bag. I looked like a soccer mom. And I would like,
Hello, people of the world. Welcome back to another episode of Sam Sessions. We're here in the acoustic A room of South Austin Music. As always, it's a special day back here when we do these. To my right, good friend Marlon Sexton. The show's hosted by the world's worst interviewer. How you doing today, Marlon?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good. Yeah. So I'm not going to fake this too much. We did try this a little bit for a couple minutes. We were talking about when you're in the studio. You were in the studio late last night. And you said that sometimes you guys have a good time and have fun, but you're also like dead set on,
Yeah, I think I don't want to leave the studio feeling like we didn't get anything done.
Right.
And that's like kind of scary.
I imagine, have you gotten better at finding the balance between having fun and taking it serious at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, normally it's like if it's sounding good, it's fun. And if it's not sounding good, it's not fun. That's like kind of just how it normally goes.
Yeah, so it just depends on like what the product's turning out.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to make something and not waste money.
Yeah, of course. So I know you just got done with touring with Black Pistol Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys go into Canada?
Yeah, we went all the way up to Canada.
Was that your first time in Canada?
It's my first time ever in Canada. Yeah.
No kidding.
So it's really cool. Yeah.
How did the shows in Canada compare to the shows in the U.S.?
Canada was a lot more rowdy.
Yeah.
We played a show in Victoria and I watched like these three like very burly men like pick up this smaller guy and like throw him over the barrier onto the stage like in between sets. Like no one was even playing, they just like did that and like he got up there and it was so like that was kind of our introduction to Canada. Really
That's
cool.
awesome. Yeah, they got the stereotype of being nice, but yeah.
No, I mean they're nice, but I mean there's
they like to have fun too.
There's kind of mean people everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. Do you think it was more rowdy in Canada because Black Pistol Fire is from there?
I would imagine that had something to do with it, because like right before we went, like one of their crew guys were like, "It's about to get crazy. Like these guys are celebrities up here, So
yeah. That's sweet.
But yeah, it's good.
Do you have a favorite show or favorite place where you played on that tour? As far as you and the Shooks go.
Yeah. LA was really good. LA was really, really good. That was probably like the best show tour. And then Victoria, where the people were throwing people on stage. That was like, it was just like, it wasn't even necessarily like the best sounding show, but it was so rowdy.
Yeah.
It was like, people were just like climbing over each other. And
when you get the stories of people like moshing and throwing humans like they're not humans, that's...
No, I know. I mean, they didn't seem like malicious when they threw this. It seemed very just like...
Yeah, they're having
it almost seemed like this guy was like, "Get me up there," and these guys just threw him up,
Yeah, absolutely. So, how old are you?
Can I swear? Okay,
yeah.
Oh yeah. 23. Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're the same age.
Oh. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. We're the same age. And I said this with Calder too. I'm just curious. Like I've done, like, quick aside, I do like open mics for comedy, right?
Awesome.
And so like there's not very many people there, but if I do well, I can already feel my ego inflating when I get off stage, So I'm curious, like when we're our age, it's very easy for people to get rowdy and crazy and like kind of get sucked into their own ego. Do you find a way to keep yourself grounded even though you're doing these stages? And
I think I just, I have so much self-doubt. Every time I'm like, is this good? Is this bad? So I don't think, like, but I know what you mean. Like, when you play like a really good show, you walk off stage like,
I'm the fucking man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, then a day later, you realize you're like, this mix sounds like shit. So,
I gotcha. So would you say like a little bit of self-doubt can be healthy?
I think, I mean, if you're not doubting anything you're doing, there's probably something wrong, I mean,
right.
Like, and especially in like the world of the arts or whatever, So.
Yeah, 100%. That's cool. It's really good to hear because, I mean, like I said, I just know for me, it's like, I mean, I already feel egotistical at times, and I'm not doing the shit you guys are doing.
I don't think there's anything, like, I think everyone kind of needs a little bit of, like,
you gotta
be confidence. Yeah, exactly.
So. Good deal. Good deal. So you released your EP called Pet. That was back in 2021?
Yeah.
Okay, so was this like kind of like a fresh out of COVID lockdown deal?
It was done before COVID. And like we were set up to play South by and do all this stuff, and then like we played like our first show of South by in 2020, and we like walked off stage and they were like, it's all gone. Like everything is dead. And then so like I was kind of just in COVID like waiting. Like, it just didn't feel right to put it out amidst, like, just
what was
nothing happening. Yeah, so I wanted to go play shows once it was out, and then finally I just got bored. So we put it out at the beginning of 2021.
Nice.
Right, yeah.
I would say that was definitely the right call.
No, it worked out really well, because then actually, like, shows started kind of happening a few months later, and then we actually got to do some really cool stuff because of it. So, yeah, it worked out really well. I didn't have a plan. Like, it was just kind of like, I'm sick of sitting on this, so we're just gonna put it out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Why the name Pet?
People keep asking me this. I don't know. I mean, I wish there was some grandiose meaning. I think that it was like, there was some lyric that got cut that referenced that, and then I realized it later. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't use this, but
yeah,
I don't know, man. I think I went a bit.
There doesn't have to be
in COVID, you know.
Yeah. There doesn't have to be a big meaning. And following up with that, your band name is the Shooks, and I know that you got that name because you were like driving around with a friend at Zilker.
Oh yeah. I was in the car with my friend, and like I was just like kind of thinking about band names, and I was like, I need to name it something. I think we drove by Zilker, and like a friend of mine was like, oh yeah, that's where the Wooks live, which is like, I don't know if you don't know, like a Wook is like a
trippy people, right?
It's like like EDM music festival, white people with dreadlocks kind of deal, you know, like, and I thought he said Shucks, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting band name, and he was like, no, that's a terrible band name, thinking that I was saying Wooks, you know, thinking I was gonna name my band after these people, you know, like
the light show guys.
Yeah, exactly. They're the people that come up to you at music festival with like light hands and are like, you know,
So how long have you been with your band, the Shooks?
It's been a while. Like it's kind of had a few like incarnations, because it just basically I was playing in other bands, and then I like started writing music on my own, and then I kind of like nicked the the rhythm section from this band I was playing in, and then it basically like this incarnation has been around for about 2 years.
Very cool.
We recently got my really good buddy to start playing bass.
Okay.
Shout out Gabe.
Gabe, what's his last name?
Gabriel Polikoff.
Gotcha.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Boy. That was in February. So like this has kind of been like which I'm really happy with it. So
sweet. Yeah, I was as it was described to me, like as far as your band members go, you really have like a solid group of guys. They're all really talented.
Like I think my friends joke that it's kind of like the super group of our little like friend Austin scene, just because I don't know, like I got like Devin's in it, Dewey Ivy, who's like just the most talented dude ever, and he plays in like every band that I know. You know, he's in so many different bands, and like it's cool. It's like almost everyone in the band has like their own like kind of other projects that they do and stuff. So it's cool. It's like it's an interesting dynamic.
They gotta see something in you to take time away from their own thing.
I think I just pestered people until and then it got real, and like we started getting good shows, so it worked out. But like I don't think people were like, oh yeah. I think I was just like, please come play. You know, so.
I want to say before we get too far into it, you have a really kick-ass singing voice, and I'm curious. So yeah, absolutely. I'm curious if did you take singing lessons? Did you practice in the shower, in the car?
No, I didn't take singing lessons, but right before this last tour, because we just got off.
Okay.
Like I went to someone and was like, how do I not ruin my voice? Because like I just like was shredding it. Like during South by, like it's like coughing up blood, and I was like, I gotta figure out how to sing where I'm not doing this. So
properly.
And they just told me how to like use your stomach, you know. So this is easy stuff like that. But no, I never really took singing lessons. I think I was in like choir in 3rd grade or something. But
Okay.
that's kind of the extent of it.
So kind of like a natural talent though.
I don't know, man. It took a lot of like it took a long time to like be able to even remotely sing well. So
Yeah.
I didn't really want to be a singer. I mean, I really enjoy it now, but like I just kind of, you know, wrote my own songs and I was like, well, someone's got to sing this. So
Yeah,
it kind of worked out like that.
Might as well be you.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So you released your EP, The Pet, and then, I mean, it was less than a year that you did ACL, right?
Yeah, so we released it in, was that last year? 2021, yeah.
Yeah, 2021.
We released it in May, and then we played ACL in October. Which, like, I think a lot of that had to do with, like, COVID, right? Like, people were dropping off because of COVID, so we kind of got to, like, slide in. But it was really good. And,
what were the nerves like before that show?
It was, I was, like, nervous, but I was, like, being nervous before shows because, like, if I'm not nervous, it kind of feels awkward to go on stage, you know? But
I can imagine.
It was mainly just, like, so hot. It was, like, when we were done, like, our really good buddy Blake, who does like all our video stuff, he was like, I was watching him during soundcheck, like setting up these cameras, and like he just looked like he was gonna pass out. And like the second we finished the song, like the set, I just like walked straight back to the trailer and just like had to sit down and like stick my face in a cooler because I was wearing like just hot clothes. Like I was an idiot. I was like, oh, it's hot, but I live in Texas. Like, I don't, you know, I'm immune to that. But no, it was really...
When you're on stage and playing and jumping around, it's
it was like
different.
The only time I've ever been like, I might pass out on stage. It's like, it was just really early in the day and really hot.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, by the way, for anyone who lives under a rock, ACL is a massive festival. People come from all over the world. How did you feel once you finished that show? Did you feel like you kind of had this nice accomplishment?
Yeah, no, I mean, it felt really good. I was really nervous that it was gonna it wasn't gonna happen because like the first day got canceled because of rain and all this stuff and just COVID. So like it was kind of like a relief almost that it actually happened. Because you know, it was just nerve-wracking. Because that was the thing. I was like so terrified that we would get like the day before and they'd be like, "Oh, we're so sorry, like festival's off," like, you know, so, and that would have just killed me. So
yeah, 100%. I'm happy it worked out for you.
Yeah,
you brought up that you were wearing really hot clothes, and that's kind of a nice way for me to bring up. Every single time I see you, you're dressed like a fucking badass musician. Oh, you know, like you have a pretty good fashion sense about you. Were you a toddler, like wearing leather jackets? When did you start dressing the way you do?
I don't know. In high school, I just started wearing whatever. I don't know. I didn't really dress like anyone that I knew, but that wasn't on purpose. It wasn't like I was like making some grand statement. I don't know. I don't know. Man.
It just kind of
started dressing.
Yeah.
Just go to thrift stores and like, oh, that's a disturbingly weird jacket. I'm gonna wear that, you know.
Did you go through different phases growing up, like in and out of music? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I was like really into baseball when I was a kid. Like I really liked playing baseball, and then I don't know. At some point, I got into skateboarding and
okay, cool.
You know, maybe smoking a little bit of weed, and then
the good shit. Yeah,
like you do.
Yeah, like it happens, and then you know. So
yeah.
Here we are.
It's I'd say it's good that you explored like other interests too, though, before you kind of dived into music, because now you get to avoid the like 30 years old
midlife
like, oh,
crisis.
what if I did this instead?
Well, I think that'll happen anyways. But I was like, I don't know. I still kind of wish that I had started earlier, because every time I think about that, I'm like, I mean, fucking around with baseball, like could have been. Imagine how much better you'd be if you, you know, whatever. But,
yeah, you know. I wish I started everything earlier.
Yeah, I mean, but it's nice to have a childhood and not be, you know.
100%. So you had a residency at Continental Club.
Yeah, we played at Continental for like a long time, like basically right after ACL. Yeah, or actually starting before ACL, we played there like 4 or 5 months.
Wow. So comparing like your first show to like one of the later shows in the 4th or 5th month there, were you like crazy nervous for the first one, and then by month 4 it's like old hat for you? Or
no, like I mean, I really started to love it because it was just like, it was on Tuesday, so it's in the middle of the week, and like it just kind of is like a little baby weekend in the middle, or like it's fun because like you'll be at work and be like, I hate this, you know, whatever. And then like, but then you're like, oh, I get to go play tonight. I don't think anyone was nervous because like when we started, there was nobody there. I mean, we were going on midnight at a Tuesday. It's like 4 people there, you know? So, like, and then by the end it started to pick up, which is, like, really surprising, because everyone was like, oh, you play residency, and people keep coming back, and I didn't think that was going to happen because of our slot, but it's really good. Like, Steve, who owns Continental and C-Boys, is, like, the best.
Yeah.
He's the best dude ever. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you feel you got to learn a lot as a musician doing that residency?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I think it was, like, kind of super important for us to, like, grow, because, like, it's like rehearsal, but it rehearses more than just, like, you know, playing.
You get to experiment with doing different things on stage, and
it was like an hour and a half set, and, like, at the time we just didn't really have that much, like, rehearsed well. So, like, the first few shows we were kind of just, like, going up there, and, like, I would have, like, half the band run off for, like, part of the set and get beer for everyone else, and then, like, me and the drummer would play, like, a song, and it was, because I mean the first one we were basically just like, all right, what songs do we have, you know, like, which ones do we, like, vaguely know, but yeah, no, it was really good. I really like residencies.
It's definitely a good way to do it. It'd be so cool if there was someone that got to see, like, y'all's first show and then one of the last shows, just to see, like, the progress.
There's this woman, Leanne, who's, like, kind of this, she's just kind of appeared out of, like, you know, the mist, and, like, she's just, like, a massive advocate for us, and, like, really sweet. Like, she, like, got us places to stay on tour and stuff, and I think she was just, like, at the Continental on a Tuesday night, just, like, hanging out, and but she comes to, like, all of our shows, so she's really sweet.
Those are the best kind of people. You gotta love them. So I heard you say that, like, 90% of your friends are pretty much musicians.
Yeah, like, that's not on purpose, but I think I just live in Austin, so.
And that's the way it happens.
It's probably even higher than that. I was thinking about that the other day, like, I was like, who do I know that, like, isn't in a band to some extent, you know? Yeah, I don't know what that says about
Seth Walker, nice to meet you, sir.
There you go, first time.
No band over here, friend. I'm curious, though, like, so me and my little group of friends, we all do different things, and still are competitive. I'm about to bet an ACL wristband on who can win a foot race, you know? Like, we're competitive as shit.
Like, I love a good old foot race.
If all your friends are kind of doing the same thing you're doing, and kids can naturally be pretty competitive, do you guys find yourself competing a lot, or is it more of a give and take?
I don't think so. It's, like, it's definitely odd, because, like, there are a certain amount of slots, so I don't think people are, like, upset, like, wanting other people to fail. I think that sometimes, like, people definitely get, like, oh, you got that show, I wanted that show, you know? Where there's so much, like, it's such an incestuous friend group, you know, in music terms, obviously.
No, we're hoping it's music terms, for sure.
Like, everyone plays in everyone's stuff, you know, like, I'm in, like, I mean, I mainly just do chicks, but I play in my buddy's band whenever he needs someone to fill in, and as I said, like, Devin plays in everyone's band, like, you know. So. And
it's also, like, it can be a bad thing, but it's also a really good thing sometimes to have friendly competition where you guys are, like, boosting each other up.
That's the part that I like, because, like, someone will write a good song and you're like, oh, that's really good, I gotta go home and write a song, you know? And, like, it's not angry, it's just, like, you know, it's healthy, like, I think. I think you kind of need that, because if you're creating in a vacuum and, like, just looking at, like, your heroes or whoever, you know, and, like, that's what you're judging your stuff off of, it can get, like, that's not very, like, those are established people, you know, that have been in it for a while, so it's nice to, like, have people that are coming up kind of very similar to you to, like, bounce stuff off of.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So for this next part here, I'm going to pull a couple photos. So I saw this one here.
Oh, that is ancient. That is so old. Yeah, so I know I don't really use, like, I use Instagram for the band, but I don't use that anymore.
Right.
That one's, we did a video that, did it come out? I don't even know. I'm really bad at keeping track of stuff. We wanted to do this video, and we did it with this woman, Vanessa Plau, who's, like, a really talented filmmaker. And we, like, were like, oh, we want sand, like, lots and lots of sand. That was just, like, a very, very, like, simple idea. And so we, like, were looking, and, like, the closest sand was, like, I don't know how you say, like, Mojave sand.
Mojave. I was about to say, yeah, you're asking the wrong guy for pronunciation, but...
but, like, yeah, we just, like, drove 8 hours.
Damn.
and just got in some sand and shot this video and then drove back.
That's sweet.
But yeah, it was really easy. And
what was hotter, Mojave or ACL?
Oh, definitely ACL.
Like,
I don't think it was like immediately like walk back to the trailer, take all your clothes off, and like just like huddle in front of this like ice cooler, just try not to throw up. Like it was really brutal.
Shit, man, that's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. It's my own damn fault, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, props to you for getting through it, though. You know, it's a sign of a true musician.
I think someone like, at one point I was like, we were in the middle of a song and I like kind of like knelt down and kind of like to catch my breath, and like a friend of mine that was like there was like, oh, that was such a cool move or something like that. And I was like, I was really just trying to like not fall over. Yeah. So, yeah.
Dude, like that was a rock star when you like almost didn't die on stage.
Yeah, exactly. Which was fun. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's all about perspective, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you do something and it just ends up looking awesome. I'm still trying to work that out for myself. Never mastered it. For this next one, the next photo here was Alex Jones really talking about the gay frogs?
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking about this.
And for context,
the other day.
For real quick, we'll throw the photo up. But for context, for Scott, he has a photo of him getting a haircut, and Alex Jones is in the photo. Also getting a haircut.
Okay, this is good. I told someone this story last night. I was like probably 18. Like I didn't know who Alex Jones was, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had seen like a video of him like talking about Hillary Clinton or something, like being like opening a jar of pickles. He's like, there's no pop, you know, it's a pop. Like that's not it. He's like, just, you know, it's a flag operation or whatever. Like just saying like some insane shit. And I was like, oh, it's like a comedy show. Like knowing nothing, I was like, this is hilarious. Like this guy is really funny. Like he really sells it. Like he really, you know. And so like I'd seen that and it was just like on Instagram or something. And like I go get a haircut. It was like a friend of mine was like, oh, like go, my hairdresser will give you like a discount or whatever. So I like went to this fancy hairdresser and like I'm like sitting down and I see him walk in and I'm like, oh, like I don't even know his name, and I'm talking to the guy. I'm like, dude, that's the guy. And he goes, yeah, that's the guy. Like, Jesus, like, and like I was like, oh, dude, like I want to go and tell him like how funny I think like his stuff is. And he like stops cutting my hair and like touches hair, and he says like, do not do that. He's like do not go up to him and whatever you do not say any, like, do not talk to him about how funny you think his show is. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I was like, that was a really harsh reaction.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he's just like in a chair, like, you know, doing his thing. And like, I get back to my apartment and my roommate, and I was like, do you know this guy? You know, like the guy that's always talking about frogs and stuff? And he was like, Alex Jones. And I was like, oh yeah. He was like, I was like, look at this picture. And he's like, dude, that's great. You know, like, that's really crazy. So yeah, no, because like if I hadn't like out loud been like, oh, I want to go say hello, like I would have gone out to him and been like, dude, I love your show. I think you're so funny. Which is like
the best thing you could probably ever do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wish that I'd done that because like just to see,
his reaction.
I know.
That's awesome.
I know.
That's so cool that like seeing it with no outside context, you're like, oh, this guy's fucking hilarious.
No,
what a great comedian.
I know, and like knowing who he is now, like if I sat down, I probably would have walked out and been like, go fuck yourself, you know, or something, but...
So, I was watching the music video for your song Rum.
Mm-hmm.
Super, super cool music video.
Thank you so much.
Great song as well, but I'm curious, like, did you have someone come in to help direct that music video, or is that you guys?
That one's kind of specific. All of our video stuff, like all our kind of visual stuff is by Blake Nelson, who is the most talented filmmaker in the entire world and the sweetest person you'll ever meet. I'm shouting you out. It's like my best friend, and he's just like the best. Like he went on tour with us, and he's my rock.
Yeah.
But actually that one was like directed by Tony Tafaris, which is like Blake's really good friend and our really good friend too. And like they kind of both worked on it. That one was for like it's like a music video mixtape. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But our friend Kellen, like, it's basically like 5 bands did 5 videos, and they all like very loosely kind of like flow together. Mm-hmm. So you can check that out. I don't know what it's actually called.
Okay, but, gotcha.
Yeah, that was like Blake does all our video stuff, you know.
Everyone involved in that project should get a huge kudos because it was freaking sweet. I mean, you guys played a great song, and it was just really cool.
I mean, I had very little, like, that's the thing, like, I've had terrible music video experiences of like trying to just working with people where it didn't really work out, but that's what I love about Blake, because he's really only got good ideas.
It's aces every time.
Yeah, he just kills it, and he's like...
That's invaluable.
Yeah, no, he's my hero.
Hell yeah. Good to hear. It's good to hear. It's good to have people like that.
Yeah, because...
So, my last question here. I'm wondering if you're even going to, know where this is even coming from. We're going to see how this goes. But do you ever see yourself retiring one day and finally learning how to knit that sweater?
Oh my God, did you get... Was that in, a Japanese interview? Is that where you got that?
It wasn't Japanese, but you were telling someone that you got into knitting in 2nd grade.
I was so into... Well, it was more like crocheting and stuff. When I was in 2nd grade, I would go to school with, this tote bag. I looked like a soccer mom. And I would, go to school with this tote bag, and it just had, all this yarn. And at recess, I would just knit and crochet.
As, a 7-year-old.
I don't know. I really don't know where that came from.
That's so crazy.
I got really into that.
That's so cool. And then he asked you, he's like, so could you knit a sweater? And you're like, oh, fuck no.
Who was this? Was this...
I think, I want to say KUTX. Someone with them. Or maybe Austin Chronicle.
Oh, it might have been, yeah.
But yeah, they're asking you, kind of similar to what I asked you earlier, different phases you went through. And yeah, you were like, I went through a knitting phase. And
that was a big deal. That was that was kind of my identity for a while. I was
it's fucking
just
cool.
A knitter.
That's such a cool background to have, honestly.
Yeah, I wish I retained some of those skills. I don't think I can do it anymore.
Yeah. There's not a single fucking thing about that's cliche for a musician, that's pretty unique. You should be putting that out there a little bit more. I think I got teased a bit for it, but now it's pretty cool. Yeah, well, of course, people always tease people for doing shit that's different,
Yeah.
That's cool. It's I have an aunt who used to knit me blankets, but if I had a blanket knitted from my second grade son or something, if you made something for your dad or mom, that's so sick,
No, I don't think I was good. But I was really into it.
So for the next part of the show, we'll jump to kind of more rapid fire questions. I'll just ask you really kind of this or that, and first answer that comes to your mind is what we'll take.
Okay.
Acoustic or electric?
Electric.
Okay. We might have to cut this one. This is new. Earthquaker or electroharmonics?
You're gonna get someone in trouble.
Definitely. Yeah, that's how I'm we might have to cut this.
I don't want to ruin this, but electroharmonics.
Yeah.
I love electroharmonics.
They're great, huh?
Yeah. Wait, they're POG and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, people talk shit about electroharmonics, and I think that it's unfounded because the POG hot tubes, those old ones, those are some of the... I think the POG is the greatest pedal that's ever been made.
Really?
The POG 2, that new one,
mm-hmm.
It's so much more versatile than people think. it's... Oh.
Fight or flight?
I wish fight, but probably flight.
I'd be keep the cameras on, fucking fight.
Yeah.
Cut them, I'm running.
I'm so scrawny. I will talk mad shit, but the second it actually goes down, I'm probably gonna get my...
Okay, this is great for the earlier Alex Jones conversation. Do you have a favorite conspiracy theory?
I don't know, man. I feel like conspiracy theories used to be fun, and now it's it's gotten too real. I like the... What do they call it? The Mandela effect?
Yeah!
That's fucking cool.
Fuck yeah!
I'd really like that one.
That one's nuts.
Because Bearstein Bears.
Yeah.
That's Bearstein? No. There's something going on there.
Do you enjoy playing big venues or smaller venues better?
I thought about this so much on tour because some of the venues were really small and some of them were really big.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously big venues, but really the only thing that matters is the crowd. If there's a good crowd, then I don't care. I'd rather play in front of 200 people that are having a good time and excited to be there than in front of 2,500 people that don't give a shit, because that's worse than an empty room at times, because you just you look out and there's just people
yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah, at least if there's no one in the room, you're not getting a bad reaction.
I feel I'm not actually answering any of these questions, but
no, they're great answers.
It just matters about the crowd. That's
what
matters. So.
Good deal. Marlon, dude, seriously, I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for letting us do this with you.
Why don't we talk like this just all the time?
That's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to have fun back here and kind of shoot the shit, But yeah, seriously, that was an incredible amount of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. No, I really appreciate it.
It was great to sit down and get to talk to you.
Good job, Scott.
Hell yeah.